I ruined my own life. But I need some help. I cheated on the love of my life. And it wasn't the first nor last time I cheated on someone, but I don't understand why I do it when it's the thing I have always hated the most about myself, even before getting caught. Story/quick relevant background. My parents divorced when I was 3 and my dad worked out of town 5 days a week my entire life and is emotionally shut off and cold. My mom is a drug addict that I've had to raise more than she's raised me. When I was 12, I got my first real girlfriend. That's when I had my first kiss, and this relationship in almost every aspect would repeat itself for my entire life. Let me explain. We are kids, but I was very mature for my age, and so was my GF who was my same age. We both were depressed and self-harmed, but the relationship was supportive and mostly non-toxic. But at some point in this relationship, an older friend of 3 years made a move on me, and we took it much farther than kissing. I lost my virginity cheating on my first real girlfriend. The relationship lasted 2 years still, till I was 14, because I've always been a committed and good partner. I think every ex of mine would even attest to that aside from me being unfaithful. And at this age, I hardly even comprehended that what I did was cheating. That changed in my next relationship at 14. This relationship would also go on to last 2 years. And this is when the lies got back and self-hatred got serious. I didn't tell anyone in my personal life that I had lost my virginity, not even my closest friends. Only the friend I gave my virginity to knew. So when this next relationship got serious and sex became a factor, I panicked and lied. I'd been lying this whole time, so what could I do now? Clearly, I know I made the wrong choice. I also was stopped things with my friend that I lost my virginity, so I wouldn't cheat on anyone else ever again. My next relationship when I was 16 lasted 8 months, and she was physically abusive, and I didn't cheat on her ever from what I remember. My next relationship at 16 lasted over 2 years and was very messy. Still, no one knew who I lost my virginity to, but I would open up in this relationship and be honest, trying to make up for my past. But things changed when I invited the girl over who took my virginity to hang after we hadn't seen each other in years. I was breaking trust just by seeing her, but I tried to say no when she came into me, and she pressured me into sex that night. But she never found out about that. The first time I was caught ever by anyone was a year later when I'd also text a girl I'd met online that I had a crush on her, and she found the text messages. We broke up, got back together. She cheated on me out of revenge, and broke up a year later, and dropped out of high school and was almost homeless. Between each relationship would only be a month or so, and this one would be the same, but was also different in every way. This woman was my other half. We were inseparable and best friends instantly when we met. She had an apartment by herself because she had just gotten out of a relationship, and so I moved in the same night we met. Wild, I know. But I was in a bad place, and she was a very sweet woman, and we just got along so well. And this relationship was perfect. I mean, we never fought. We dated for 3 years, and only 1 month out of those 3 years did we butt heads, and I think we were just stressed, and they couldn't even be classified as fights. Just normal disagreements and being sensitive because we had spent so much time together. We both started our own businesses, got a second apartment, adopted a cat, and we're talking about marriage and kids. I remember wanting her to push me more, like to help motivate me because I feel that works so well in helping me crunch, and she never really did that, but it's funny how little I care after I lost her. What did I do wrong this time? She asked me to stop watching porn after we had been together a year or so, and it would be brought up more and more as the next year went on. At first I argued and didn't feel it was fair, but when you understand that she can't help but feel negative for me watching porn, then I felt, and still do feel, it was reasonable for her to ask. We can let's argue about who needs to change, but eventually someone needs to cave, and I knew I watched porn any day. We didn't have sex, so I felt it was frequent enough that it could be a problem more than just her being sensitive. So I agreed. Over the next year, she found porn on my phone multiple times. I mean it when I say I tried. It's why I gave in. She would go to sleep early, and I'm a night owl, so just some of those nights got long and I'd think differently, and then have so much regret even when I wasn't caught. After porn sites stopped being safe, I downloaded this app like Omegle and would meet random girls on there and do stuff. When she found that it was her last straw and we almost broke up, we stayed together for a few months, trying, but I think she was just trying to get the courage to leave. Because when she did, it was sudden and cold and tore me apart. I don't blame her or resent her. It's just how it felt. But she had every right, and she had never been cheated on, so God knows if what I did has had lasting effects, but feels naive to even question. What I did was get up, even if it wasn't physical. I've been single for 2 years now. A vast difference from going from relationship to relationship, but also, I don't know if I'm any different. I don't trust myself. No one trusts me, and I don't blame them. I'm very honest about my past and my mistakes because I'm so afraid of commuting them again, and I would rather die than not change, but no one trusts me. And I'm not willing to lie. Also, I really don't want anyone else. I just want the love of my life back. I've tried to. We have stayed in contact and she wanted to stay friends, but it hurt me so much that I actually ended that. Can you believe it? Like, maybe I did have a chance, but because things were so different and hurt me so much, I couldn't handle it. I tried. I went along with it for months. Even when she texted me one time saying she's reconsidering, but she would change her mind a week later. I had that last 6 months that just ended a month ago. I was trying to lock things down, but she'd only agree to be exclusive, but wouldn't agree to date. I ended up hooking up with someone else and told the girl I was exclusive with immediately because I vowed to never lie in a relationship again, and she left me too. Also, if it's relevant, but all of my guy friends have either tried to get with my girl or just been SHDDY guys to other women, and that's been how and why I've lost every guy friend I've ever had. And in every relationship, my GF is my best friend and I get very attached. I think it's because I'm not close to a single family member of mine. Moral of the story: you can cheat on someone you love. You can cheat even if morally you don't agree with it and hate yourself for it. And you'll continue to cheat unless you get professional help. But cheating isn't always black and white, done by bad people. But the results of cheating is being treated like a bad person by people who just want to protect themselves, and no one can blame them. And I only made this post to tell my story in case someone can get something from it. Or maybe give me some advice because I'm not doing well mentally and hardly even know where to start rebuilding. I've been living at my dad's place at 23 years old for 2 years now. Unemployed, just doing busy work for him. And we don't have a good relationship despite him helping me financially. The man didn't even visit me in the hospital when I almost died in a car wreck, even though he lived 10 minutes away. And when I told him how much it affected me, he called me sensitive. I'm rambling, that's all.